And a very pleasant Saturday to everybody, May 22nd, 2021. Thank you so much for checking out the weather with me today. My name is Jewel, and this is the Weather Channel of J7409. Well, Anna has been birthed. How about that? We have our first subtropical storm with a name in the Atlantic for the hurricane season 2021. First, let's go over here to Texas. Now, yesterday morning, this system that was down here, as you see now, is over land in Texas. It was at 20%. Then I told everybody to be aware it was climbing. It was up to 40%. Well, before I went to bed, it was up to 60%. But I didn't make a video on that because I thought it was going to fall apart. And sure enough, it has right here. It's disturbance number 1. All of the surface observations and radar data indicate that the area of low pressure, it's just low pressure, previously over the northwestern Gulf of Mexico, has moved inland over southeastern Texas. Therefore, tropical cyclone formation is not expected. It won't happen, folks. However, though, this system could produce heavy rainfall as it is in different portions of southeastern Texas and southwestern Louisiana today. Now, given the complete saturation of soils with the ongoing river flooding along the Texas and Louisiana coastal areas, these rains could lead to what you don't need. You've already had plenty of flash flooding, urban flooding, and additional river flooding across this region. Now, this is a big rainmaker. When I first saw it in the first update I did, I said I thought it was going to be a rainmaker, and that indeed is what it is. Now, when we come to Anna, she is a subtropical storm. Now, the maximum winds are 45 miles per hour. The minimum central pressure is 1,006 millibars. It's located 34.2 north, 62.5 west. It's moving west-southwest still at 3 miles per hour. Now, Anna's going to stay here and kind of move down a little, meander around. I'll show you that in a moment. But what's the difference in a tropical storm and a subtropical storm? As we take a look at the satellite, this will explain it all to you. Here is Anna, okay? Now, a subtropical storm, they are less dense. They're more spread out, as you can see, than a tropical storm would be. Now, subtropical storms still have a well-defined center with a closed circulation. But tropical storms see thunderstorms very closer to their center. Now, where the subtropical storms see thunderstorms over 100 miles from the center. And you can see right in here. See how spread out Anna is? That's why Anna is a subtropical storm instead of a tropical storm. And you can see where this system moving on across, bringing rain, got more rain coming up. As you can see, the center of this low is right around in here now, but more rain's coming, folks, this afternoon and evening around Louisiana and this section of Texas, so go ahead and get right for it. Now, on the tracking back from the National Hurricane Center, and I've tracked this on all of my stuff also, it's looking pretty accurate. I told you she's going to meander around this little speck right here, Bermuda, right in here. It could move down a little bit more before it takes off, but it should move on out to the east and move on up across north and to the east. Should not be a threat to any land for the U.S. whatsoever. But I do want to remind everyone, the rip currents for North Carolina from Cape Hatteras to Kitty Hawk and Duck are very high today. If you're planning on going to the beach, from Cape Lookout to Ocracoke, we got moderate rip currents. So please be aware and stay safe. severe weather. We do have a slight chance of some severe thunderstorms today popping up, and they're capable of producing large hail and damaging winds, and a small chance of tornadoes. It's all possible across the central and southern plains, and they should start popping up this afternoon and evening, as you can see, from Nebraska down through New Mexico and Texas, right in this area. Marginal risk all the way up to Minnesota down to Texas. Everybody else where you see this, just a chance of a thunderstorm in general. We need rain. We need rain over here very, 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 very bad. It's the drought. We're like 5 inches below what normally we would be. All the gardeners and homesteaders, I know what you're going through. You're having to water every single day. That chance of tornadoes from Nebraska down through Texas and parts of New Mexico and Colorado, a little bit of Kansas. It's at 2% today. Now this wind's going to pop up. 15% chance it's going to get gusty. So be aware that you know what's going on when the wind does pop up. You know, downdraft winds can cause just as much damage as a tornado. It's just set at one little spot. It doesn't move around. It's just one little spot. So make sure you stay aware of that. And the hail outlook, 15% from Nebraska down through Texas. If you have any of these storms pop up, there is that chance that you could have some large hail. Here we have a look at the NDFD map. I'm going to let this loop through for you right quickly here and tell you what's going on. All right, now, the wind circulating around this large high-pressure system centered over the eastern U.S., it should continue to direct a stream of this tropical moisture from the Gulf of Mexico toward the western Gulf states. Meanwhile, we got a low-pressure center that formed yesterday, as I've showed you, in the western Gulf of Mexico, and it's in landfall now in central coastal Texas. Now, it's not going to develop into a tropical cyclone. It's already diminishing somewhat, but I can't get over enough telling you it's going to trigger very heavy thunderstorms containing heavy downpours as it tracks further inland today and tonight. Now, it looks like, of course, it's going to dissipate by tonight, but this tropical moisture, folks, it's going to continue to stream into eastern Texas for the remainder of the weekend. The remainder of the weekend, additional showers and thunderstorms can be expected for any time under this unstable air mass. Meanwhile, we got a low pressure system. It's looking like it's going to develop and intensify as it tracks generally northward across the Rockies through the weekend. Now, a very strong cold front associated with the system is expected to trigger thunderstorms across the high plains during this weekend, and some of these storms could become severe, as I have showed you, especially during late afternoon into early evening. So please keep this in mind, watch your skies, and be aware of what's going on. Temperatures are forecast to generally be 15 to 25 degrees below average for the Intermountain West, and parts of Montana could stay 25 to 30 degrees below average, even set some records. Now, these cold temperatures will continue to support wet snow for the higher elevations from the Sierra Nevada to the Intermountain West and Northern Rockies today. However, as the low-pressure system intensifies, the snow is forecast to redevelop and become steadier Sunday, tomorrow, across the higher elevations of the Northern Rockies and especially over western Montana Sunday night. Now, the low-pressure system should continue to track northward into the Canadian prairies by Monday morning, but the snow is forecast to linger across the Northern Rockies. Now, for the lower elevations, a steady cold rain is expected Sunday across the northern high plains with gusty winds as this low passes just to the east. So it's going to be cold, rainy, and windy. Now, in a stark contrast to all that cold and snow out in the west, very warm temperatures are expanding into the eastern U.S., where afternoon high temperatures reaching in the 90s are looking like what's going to happen during the weekend for everybody. For the upper Midwest, Great Lakes, and northeastern U.S., showers and thunderstorms are expected ahead of a cold front before cooler and drier air from Canada moves in to these areas later Sunday. Now, when you move just a little further south, we got some gusty winds across the interior west today with dry conditions. Yep, you got it. Elevated fire risk of wildfires. It's a critical risk, and it's looking like it's forecast for all of the Four Corner states throughout this weekend. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it so very much and everything you do for me. Remember to subscribe if you haven't. I would appreciate it greatly. Click that little J7409 weather picture in the bottom right-hand corner. Click that bell and check off all to ensure you get all my latest weather videos. Don't forget my friend Ann Dale, Homestead at the Colony. Click Show More, scroll down, and you'll find a link for her channel. So have a good weekend, have a good day, a safe day, and a blessed day, and much peace, love, and kindness to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for watching.